Hello everyone, my name's Dean. Let's talk crypto. This is where you subscribe for daily Bitcoin updates and technical analysis. We track the price of Bitcoin as a proxy for the cryptocurrency markets at large. Today is October 28th, 2022. October's almost finished, but Bitcoin's looking good. It's looking like it's actually bouncing from, this massive support region at around 19.5, okay? And we're moving on up. And we're heading towards the top of the range, okay? Most importantly, I won't say more importantly, but most importantly, are key indicators. The US dollar index, the Bitcoin dominance, the SPX, everything is saying the same thing. And what is that? It's that this is a point of support from which we launch. Okay, this is a point of support. This is a level of support from where we launch and we create higher highs. Okay, that's what the story is. So we're just going to continue our analysis, see what's changed since yesterday, since this is a daily show. And we're going to get into, obviously, our watch list, and if you have any assets, any cryptos that you want me to have a look at, just let me know in the chat. All right. Hope you're having a great Friday wherever you guys are. It's kind of cloudy here in the DC metro area. All right, let's get into it. Let's have a peek at Bitcoin first and foremost. And as I said, you can see this portion of our support region lasted about 67 days. But I've pointed this out before. What you get is a nice rounded bottom. And tops and bottoms, extremes, are typically characterized by rounded structural formations, okay? So that's what we're seeing here. And I had this count up yesterday, and I'll just put it back. But I believe, to the best of my ability, this is what we're seeing right here. Boom. We're seeing an impulsive move, okay? And sorry, 1 second. I'm thinking. Yeah, I want to say it's down here, yeah? That's a nominal low. This is 3. This is 4. And then 5 is going to be expanded. And, there's a few reasons why 5 needs to be expanded, but this is my count as best as, I know right now. And this was not easy to sort of figure out. And, obviously I don't know for 100% sure that this is correct, but so far, this is what I think is going on. I think that we put in a wave 1 and a wave 2 here. Wave 1 and wave 2, they're comparable in time and in price, right? The comparability in price is wave 2 retraces between the 382 and the 618 Fibonacci retracement level of wave 1. Comparability in time is that wave 1 takes around the same time it took wave 2 to form, okay? Because wave 2 doesn't technically end until here, but I'm pulling the Elliott wave down here to the nominal low, just, for measurements sake, okay? And if you take the trend-based Fibonacci extension tool, measure wave 1, retracement of wave 2, all the way down to the low, you can get wave 3 exactly where you would expect wave 3 to hit. And wave 3 hits between the 1618 and the 2 Fibonacci extension. I said this all yesterday, okay? The other thing is, okay, a bit of a change from yesterday's analysis is that we said wave 4, which we're likely in, given where wave 3 ended, it's likely that we're in wave 4. Wave 4 should end up between the 236 and the 382, okay? Because that's where wave 4 retracements typically end up, okay? But what happened is we broke down all the way to the 0.5, okay? Fibonacci retracement. What does that tell us? that tells us one thing. If this wave count is correct, if it's accurate, we are entering a leading diagonal. Okay, we are in a leading diagonal rather, and entering an extended wave 5. Okay, that's, I think I said this before. I said this yesterday. I mentioned this yesterday. I think we were looking at Litecoin or something like that, and I said, oh, maybe it's a leading diagonal. I said, well, if it's a leading diagonal, I don't know that it is, because wave 4 isn't retraced enough. Leading diagonals have wave 4 retracing beyond the 382. Okay, so it breaks that measurement of wave 4 staying between the 236 and the 382 Fibonacci retracement of wave 3. Okay, so this is the scenario we have today. We have wave 3 retracing to the 0.5, so about half of the distance of wave 3. Wave 4 retraced about half the distance of wave 3. Now, it may not be over. You may get more. But if this is it, right? Let's just say this is all the retracement for wave 3, and wave 3 stays in this region. Or, sorry, wave 4 stays in this region. Even as it is now, we can already start to calculate for an expanded wave 5, okay? How do you calculate for expanded wave 5? Expanded waves 5 with waves 1 through 3 and retracement of wave 4? I'm glad you asked. It's very simple. Take your Fibonacci extension tool from the bottom of wave 1 to the top of wave 3, retracement of wave 4. And what you should see is, at the very least, wave 5 extend to the phi ratio, or the 1.618 of waves 1 through 3 and retracement of wave 4. Okay, so that is our target for an extended wave 5, given the relatively steep or relatively deep retracement of wave 4. Okay, another thing that is really interesting, okay, remember, Elliott wave has this thing called the guideline of alternation. Okay, what's that mean? It means that in a 5-wave sequence, 5 through 5 through 5, right? 5 waves, 3 waves, 5 waves, 3 waves, 5 waves, right? Waves 2 and 4 are corrective, yeah? So wave 2, if that is a flat correction, wave 4 is typically a sharp correction, and vice versa. And what you typically see is wave 2 is a sharp, wave 2 is a sharp correction, and wave 4 is a flat correction. Here we have the opposite. Okay, this is what you typically see. Wave 2 is a sharp correction down to between the 0.5 and the 618 of wave 1. Wave 4 between the 236 and the 382 of wave 3. Here, right, we have the opposite, where wave 1 is flat and wave 4 is sharp. Okay, this is what I'm seeing. But again, we're following or respecting the guideline of alternation, where one is different than the other. So I think that's really interesting. Okay, another thing that the pattern analysis supports, right? Because you can talk about Elliott wave or Gann analysis or whatever, but if it's good analysis, it's supported by other observations, right? And the most simple observation of this price action is just the support and resistance, right? Support and resistance should always be something that you consider. Like if you talk to if you look at all of the market wizards, right? I forget his name. Oh my gosh. The author of the Market Wizards. If you look at what all of the market wizards have in common, all the greatest traders, right? Irrespective of their style, they all have a decent working understanding of support and resistance. Okay, no matter what their style and their chosen sort of manner of trading the charts. So this is basic support and resistance. This line that I just drew right here is resistance. Okay, what happened in this purported impulse, we broke the resistance and we retested it as support. That's all that happened. Okay? And if this is basic support and resistance, another interesting thing is we should target the next major resistance level, which is right here, right? Let's try and draw that straight. All right, that's good enough. But do you see? That's the next major resistance level, and that just so happens to be confluent with our 1618 Fibonacci extension of waves 1 through 3, retracement of wave 4. Basic support and resistance corroborates our read on the market using Elliott wave theory, okay? So, again, just to quickly recap, I'm seeing Bitcoin being in a leading diagonal. Okay, and a leading diagonal is a 53535 projection. It's a 53535 advance. Different than a regular 53535 advance is in that wave 4 retraces by much more, or not that much more, but by more than just the 382 maximum retracement. Okay, and then sometimes even wave 4 comes into the region of wave 2, which is not allowed in a regular 53535 extension. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing Bitcoin in. And if that's true, why are the BERAS going to be in disbelief? Why is it happening all over again? Why did I title this stream what I did? Is because we're pretty much at the neckline, and this should be the breakout for this expanded wave 5, extended wave 5. If we do break this resistance that we're at right now at around 20,700, then the next main target is 24.5 or 25K. Okay? And if you want to look at that using some help, using your VRVP indicator, visual range volume profile, so essentially the horizontal volume, you will see that right here is the next level where all of this is, kind of resistance, but here's the next sort of end or edge, right? You see a big gulf right here. So you come here and you find some sort of resistance because it's the last barrier of resistance, and then after some consolidation here, there's a big rift between 25 and 30K. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing on Bitcoin. Okay, now last point is, if you look at your momentum indicator, okay, your stochastic RSI indicator on the 4-hourly time frame, you're completely oversold. So there's a lot of runway. There's enough runway for us to put in that wave 5 extension on the wave on the stochastic RSI indicator. That's important. That's important. So it may be a very green weekend as a result. All right. If we have a look at our corresponding indicators, okay. The US dollar currency index, what is it doing? Okay, so this is on the smaller time frame. Let's go on the higher time frame. Essentially, the DXY is still in a downtrend. Okay, here's that downtrend. Okay, here's that breakdown. And what's happened? Very simply, in terms of basic support and resistance, is that you broke this 14-year, this dotted line is a 14-year level of support or resistance, depending if you're above it or below it. You're above it is support, you're below it is resistance. What happens after you break important support or resistance? You have to retest it before continuing, right? So you break, retest, break. That's all that's happening in terms of support and resistance, okay? A quick look at our momentum indicator right here is telling us the same thing, right? Our momentum indicator, our stochastic RSI, is saying that we're completely oversold on the 4-hourly time frame, just as Bitcoin's completely overbought. We're completely overbought on the momentum indicator. Bitcoin's saying we're completely oversold. They're opposites of one another. They're inversely correlated. Okay, so Bitcoin's looking to go up. The US dollar currency index, which is inversely correlated to Bitcoin, is looking to come down. It looks overbought. Okay, and so you're bumping your head here against this 14-year support resistance line. If you are new to the channel, I will zoom out really quickly so you can see what I'm talking about if you're not sure. And here is that line, right, from all the way from 2008, as you can see here. So 2008, you connect all of the tops, you get this dotted line. Okay, so now back on the smaller time frames, you can see you retested this line. Now let's go even smaller time frame, hourly time frame. The hourly time frame is also showing us some bearish divergence. Okay, you're making a higher high on the chart, you're making a lower low here on momentum. Okay, that's it's about to cross. Once it crosses, it'll be confirmed bearish divergence. Okay, let's try to dissect this price action. Again, whenever you see a base or like a pivot before an impulse, that is corrective. That's basically wave 1, wave 2, wave 3. Okay, so that's my A wave. This is my B wave. Okay, and it seems as if, I'm trying to make sense of this. I don't really understand what's going on here. Let's go on even smaller time frame. I'm trying to make sense of it. I'm not sure what wave we're in or anything. I'm just trying to read this. Okay, here's what I know. Known knowns and known unknowns, unknown knowns and unknown unknowns. I see 5 waves here. I know that is an impulse. I see 3 waves down. I know that is a correction. So I know this is a 5-3-5 zigzag, okay? That I know. So that is a corrective move to the upside. And that's finished. Okay, I got it. So that's the move. It's a 3-wave move. It's a 5-3-5 zigzag. And then at this point, you get an initial break of structure. That's your A wave. This is your subsequent B wave. Okay? So that's big A, big B. And then you seem to have a small a, small b, something like this. Maybe small b is like this, right there. And then this is your pivot. Okay? I don't know. Something like that. That's my best guess, okay, on the smaller time frames. In any case, this represents strong resistance for the DXY. You can see it on every time frame. We saw it on the hourly and 4 hourly. You can see it even on the 15-minute time frame, okay? So that's the DXY. The DXY looks like it's going down, okay? And that bodes well for Bitcoin continuing to the upside because, again, they're inversely correlated. Bitcoin dominance. I keep looking at Bitcoin dominance because I want everybody to remember what is likely happening. Okay, this is a 4-hourly time frame, not a small time frame, but you can see it's cross bearish and it's looking to nuke. And what we have is a rising wedge that's looking to break down. Okay, and it's already broken down, retested the support that it's lost, and now is getting ready to lose this support right here. Okay, so this should start nuking down. And what does it mean for Bitcoin dominance to nuke? Is essentially, it means that we're in a bull market, an entire sort of market-wide crypto bull market, where everything is gaining momentum, and on average, they're outperforming Bitcoin. That's why Bitcoin dominance is dropping. Okay, so that's all that is. So that looks good for continuation to the downside. 4-hourly time frame cross bullish looks like you have more to go to the downside. Daily time frame looks like it's completely oversold, but it doesn't look like it's bouncing anytime soon. Weekly time frame completely overbought. Monthly time frame completely overbought. Yeah. So yeah, that is Bitcoin dominance. I think at this point, what we can do is just go straight ahead into our watch list. Okay. So something like Cardano is putting in what almost the same thing that we saw in Bitcoin, right? This a retest of important resistance as support. You see that right there. So you broke this, you had this pattern, you broke through and you retested it as support for continuation. In terms of wave patterns, I think this is wave 1 here. This is wave 2. I think wave 3 is expanded. So this is a deeper wave 4, but you have an expanded wave 3. So let's see. Okay, yeah, you got wave 3 coming all the way down to the 0618. This is also a leading diagonal. This is a type of leading diagonal with a deep wave 4 retracement, I think. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing on Cardano. So I'm seeing continuation, and I'm seeing that. Just zooming out. Your next target is likely going to be in this region right here. The top of this range. That's your next major resistance. Around 60 cents. So that is a nice 60% move, 55% move, something like that. 50% move. 50 to 60% move. All right, moving on. DOT. It's looking good, you know. We've been looking at this for quite some time on the high time frames, and we've said this is support, and we've responded. We've responded on the support lines, and we've moved up from support. Just like, you know, most other projects, you're targeting the top of these ranges that you've been in. You've been in these ranges for 160 days. There's no way you're going to blast through this resistance, okay? Your next major resistance for DOT, for instance, is about $11.50. It's going to be the top of this range. So somewhere around here, okay? As you can see, RVRVP says the same thing, or VPVR. Whatever you want to call it. I'm still calling it a VPVR. I don't care what they change it to. Okay, so again, that's like a 63% move. Comparable with what you're seeing in Cardano and ADA. All right. Moving on. We have Ethereum. Actually, let's see. Dot. Okay. Ethereum, I think that next target is up here at 2000. Okay, I kept that line in, but yeah, 2000, very likely next target on the small time frames. Small time frames looks like On the small time frame, it looks like you just respected a regular wave 4 retracement, because you can see here this retracement in Ethereum has happened between the 236 and the 382 Fibonacci retracement, the end of the retracement, right? So it's right where we expect wave 4 to end. And let's see, do you have a regular wave 3? I think you have an extended wave 3 here. Let's see. Oh, that's not how you pull. Okay, let's try that again. Yeah, I remember it's saying it was a shallow wave too. So yeah, again, guideline of alternation. Look, you can't make this stuff up, guys. All right. Remember what I say yesterday? 5 waves up, 3 waves down. But what's interesting about these 3 waves down for Ethereum is that wave 2 is not typically a shallow flat correction. Okay? We got a shallow flat correction in wave 2, or what we perceived wave 2 is likely to be, just hitting the 382. I remember measuring it. And so what you have for wave 3 is a normal wave 3. Okay, wave 3 hits between the 1618 and the 2 Fibonacci extension. Now, what happens if you get an extended wave 5 is this. Okay, so we're taking wave 3, the bottom of wave 3, top of wave 3, retracement of wave 4. And what do you see here? Guys, you cannot make this stuff up. I'm not doing this. I do not do this beforehand. I promise you I do not do this beforehand. I'm doing this all with you. You're seeing it right here. Where do you see the phi ratio? Where did I say? Where did I have the line? I just erased the line, but where did I have the line? At the top of this pattern. Because that's your next logical resistance. Because a lot of these markets, charts are typically nice and symmetrical. Nature likes symmetry, order, and resolution. Okay? And you're forming a pattern here. And that's the pattern I showed yesterday. I said, what I say for Ethereum, I said it's likely that the next significant resistance is at 2000. So if you take the wave 3 retracement of wave 4 and you target the phi ratio 1618 Fibonacci extension, which would amount to an expanded or an extended wave 5, you get exactly 2000. It literally says on the chart $2,001.62. Okay, so that's my next target. There's tons of confluence. If you're trading in and out for Ethereum, I would target 2000 as a take profit. Again, that's not my trading strategy. For those of you who are following my work, you know that I am not touching anything until months from now. I'm just letting things ride because we're likely to get many more profits, and I just want to let my profits roll into one another, reduce my risk, not try and trade in and out of the market. There's no reason to just let things happen. And so if you were to take let's say Ethereum got all the way back to 2000, okay, it would likely retrace all the way back to where it's at right now, because where it's at right now is around the 0.5 to 618 of where the entire wave motion would be, if you know what I'm saying. So I'm essentially trying to calculate the risk of getting in the trade at this point, which is, it's fairly risky. But that's your 5-wave sequence all the way to 2000, and then your 3-wave sequence would be some down back to this region. You see what I mean? So there wouldn't be like that much change in terms of, kind of hiding your stops. Reserve rights. Like I said yesterday, it hasn't done too much. But this is clearly a wave 1, wave 2 situation. It's almost like a mirror image of one another. If you look at it, let's say that's your vertical axis. You see it's almost took the same amount of time to go up for 5 waves and to come down for 3 waves. So that's the idea. So that is very likely, highly probable, a 5-wave sequence that you can clearly see here. You see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the 3-wave sequence. They took about the same amount of time. Do expect wave 3 to come up here next to logical resistance at this point right there, before consolidation, before a continuation. Okay, so it's just en route. Everything is kind of going, but it's on its own pace. But bears are in disbelief because they're like, wait, why is the price kind of not dumping? Because they think Bitcoin's going to 5,000 or something ridiculous. But yeah, everybody to each their own. Bad analysis is bad analysis. It doesn't matter how many followers you have or how few. Okay, let's keep going. Synthetics. Whoops. Ooh, look at what's happening with Bitcoin dominance, guys. Look at that. Do you see this break? This means effectively that there's certain altcoins right now that are gaining against Bitcoin, and so as a result, the proportion of Bitcoin that comprises the total cryptocurrency market cap is going down. Bitcoin dominance is dropping as we speak. Okay, the DXY is dropping. Okay, it should drop a lot more, but it's dropping. Okay, rejected at that big 14-year resistance. Okay, back into our watch list, looking at synthetics. Okay, this is, to me, trying to figure out what this is. What did I say it was yesterday? Okay, I see what it is. Okay. This is it. I don't know if I said this yesterday, but this is what I think. This is an A wave. This is a B wave, okay? So this is part 1 of the zigzag. This is part 2 of the zigzag. And this is the final bit of the zigzag right here. So it's a 5-3-5 move, okay? And this right here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a kind of leading diagonal. And let's see. The time it took for this wave 2, 1 day, 20 hours. Time it took for this leading diagonal. I don't know. Is this a leading diagonal or is wave 1, wave 2 situation here? It's probably wave 1, wave 2 situation right here. I don't know. I'm not exactly sure. It's hard to tell where, these waves start and end. But I believe my best read on this is corrective. This is your first impulsive move starting around the 21st or the 23rd. And then this is your wave 2 correction. And then you're continuing with your wave 3. That's my best guess. I think that is within the realm of possibility. It's likelihood. It's a probable read. It's a strong probable read. Okay? And then just in terms of, pattern analysis, support and resistance, you're getting a nice inverse head and shoulders, which is a bullish pattern upon breaking the neckline. And then the next target is clearly the height of the head of your inverse head and shoulders, which should lead you to this next point right here on the VPVR, right? Around 3, right? So something like that. And then you consolidate and you keep going, yeah? So that's what I'm seeing on synthetics. All right, VRA. I said this yesterday. It was 5 waves, 3 waves. I think you're going into your first impulse. But it looks like all of this was part of your intermittent or intermediate B wave. You have 5 waves, 3 waves. Now you're putting in your 5 waves. That's a zigzag. It's just a big zigzag. All right, Zilliqa. That's a wave 1, wave 2 situation there. Yep. That's wave 1 right here. This is wave 2. You're going for wave 3. You're going for wave 3. Okay, wave 3 can be a regular wave 3 or it can be expanded wave 3, but you're going for wave 3. Okay, let's go up in let's go up in on the daily time frame. Ravane hasn't moved. You gotta love it, you gotta hate it. I mean, it's great because once it does start moving, Ravane just goes. But until that time, it pretty much stays still. Hasn't moved forever. But you have some nice, strong, confirmed bullish divergence on the daily time frame right here, which is very nice. But goodness, this has just been stagnant for hundreds of days at these levels. But yeah, when it does move, it's gonna be great. Okay. Kadina's also kind of been stagnant, right? Still, as you can see, on this support, but it's looking promising for a bounce at this support level right here, right? And this support level you can extend for, again, 170 days. So jumping into smaller time frames, what's it look like? It literally hasn't done anything. It hasn't done anything in the sense that it's still in a corrective pattern. You can say that yeah, it's still in a corrective pattern. This is literally 2 degrees of AB basing. It's just now, if it breaks out, enjoying some impulsive price action. You can see that on the higher time frame, it's right on support. Okay, Litecoin. Oh yes, yeah, just like what we said yesterday. Okay, this is a leading diagonal. 5 waves, 3 waves, 5 waves, 3 waves. Again, leading diagonals, don't be surprised if your wave 4 comes and encroaches in that region of wave 2. That's okay in leading diagonal. So it's, deep retracements. But what's really cool about leading diagonals, this is the best part, is that 5th wave usually extends to a minimum of the phi ratio of waves 1 through 3. Let's see. Yeah, waves 1 through 3, rotation of wave 4. Okay, which is 6811. Okay, and that would take you all the way to the top of this range. Again, guys, you can't make this stuff up. It's too consistent. Okay, let's get serious here. You see that? Right to the top of the range of your 170-day consolidation reversal range that you've been in, your sideways range of the bear market. That's where this next wave would take you, given its extension. Okay, and then once you get there, you start to consolidate, and then you break that, and then the real fireworks start. Okay, everybody, XRP is probably going to be one of the first to experience real fireworks. Why? This was the range, right? This was the range of sideways price action after it bottomed in the bear market. That range of sideways price action took for XRP about 140 days, 130 days, something like that, okay? It doesn't matter to measure, but it's around something like that. XRP broke out of that range correctively, but still broke out of it and formed a corrective wave, retesting the top of the range, okay? And what you may see with a lot of other assets is they may do the same thing. Break their range, retest it as support, and then continue. This continuation outside of this, all of this price action right here. Do you see all of this right here? This is all resistance. There are so many buy orders and sell orders because for 170 days, you literally, or 140 days, whatever it is, you literally didn't move out of that range. So every single time you're trying to move in one way or another, there are some orders that are pent up, or there's orders that remain that impede, they impede, what's that? Impulsive movement. But once you're out of the range, you see there's fewer and fewer orders because on the way down you just dumped. So now, it's just like you dumped on the way down, you get to fly on the way up. So this is why I'm saying XRP may be one of those assets that don't be surprised if you see it running a lot more than others, given where it is structurally. Okay, we'll get to XRP in a moment. We're almost there. So yeah, I see Litecoin to get to the top of its range in this next movement, in this next Elliott wave, and that should be about from here. It's not much. It's like a 23% move, which is not much. It's not much at all. Okay. Dogecoin did it early, okay? There's some fundamental news sort of supporting this move, but exactly what Dogecoin did is what you should expect the rest of the market to do, which is reach the top of its range. Do you see that? Dogecoin went all the way from here, all the way up to its next major resistance. What's going to happen with Dogecoin is it's going to hang out here for a bit, retest, maybe it's going to pop out a bit, retest the top of this channel, and then it's going to really fly, okay? And for people who are calling for a prolonged bear market, for people who are calling for $1,000 Bitcoin or whatever, you should not want to see this. You should hate the fact that there are many assets, right? Aside from what Bitcoin dominance is saying and the DXY is saying, you should not like the fact that there are assets that are breaking 140, 50, 60, 70 day support, or sorry, 170 day resistance, turning it as support for likely continuation to the upside. That does not bode well for continued bearish price action. Yeah, so we can get a little more particular and look at how Dogecoin got to the top of its channel. But it looks like here it had an extended wave 3. That's what it looks like, okay? Down here you had a wave 1, wave 2 situation, and then a massive wave 3 situation, wave 4, and then what you see now, I think, is a regular wave 5, okay? Let's see. Yeah, I think this was wave 4, which is ABC, right? and it ended between the 236 and the 382. I'm using this as the linchpin at the top of this Fibonacci retracement measurement, just because it's a 3-wave move and this is a B wave. So that's the orthodox high right here, as I calculate it, right? 1, 2, 3, 3-wave move. So it's a regular wave 4, but you did already get an extended wave 3, so I don't think you're gonna get an extended wave 5. That's how this works, right? There are rules to this shit. I don't care how many times Elon Musk buys Twitter and pumps Dogecoin. You've already extended wave 3. You're unlikely to extend wave 5. You should get a regular wave 5. Okay, and what you should get before continuing to the upside is some retracement. Okay, and that retracement should be, you know what? Who's to say wave 3 is not finished? Is finished, rather. Wave 3 could still be going on. This is the tricky part about bull markets. We like to think, I mean, it's hard to think in terms of real kind of impulsive, extended, parabolic price action when you've been in a bear market and a sideways market for hundreds of days. But you have to kind of accept the fact that you don't know how long and how much some of these assets can extend. So I'm just going to assume Dogecoin continues until it proves otherwise. Okay? Never, like in an impulsive market, rule number 1, 2, and 3 is get the hell out of the way and trade the direction of the impulse. That's why counter traders routinely get destroyed, because it's a low probability affair and it's silly. It's just stupid. It's it's the dumbest thing to try to counter these moves to the upside. Okay, so that's Dogecoin. A Dodo. Okay. I say that Dodo has something of a... Here, let's zoom out. Okay, so this is... That's definitely an AB situation. It's hard to make... I'm not sure what to make of that, to be honest. I want to say it's a zigzag. This all is a zigzag right here. 535. It's just that retracement, that middle retracement is a little shallow. I've seen it before though, okay? Typically you expect the 3 waves in the middle to retrace to a minimum of the 0.5, but I have seen it retrace short. And I remember viscerally losing a trade because I didn't expect the C leg, the last leg of a zigzag, to go without hitting the minimum retracement on 0.5. So that was a big lesson for me. It just taught me not to be super strict with these measurements, and sometimes it's just an approximation. So I say my best read on what Dodo's doing is that this was the beginning of your C wave. You have your crazy ending diagonal right there, and I don't know. Let's see. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I have no. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Dodo, to be honest, on the small time frames. This one's a little confusing to me. I think that on the higher time frame, it's simple enough. We're at support, so I'm expecting it to go up. Right? We're at support. 170 days worth of support. I'm expecting it to bounce from here. And that's pretty much it. Right? And maybe on the daily time frame, the one thing that jumps out to me is that this is the beginning of an impulse. And then this is thing is, it's okay, let's go back to the 4 hourly. There's one thing that jumps out at me, actually. I just don't see 5 waves here. I don't see 5 waves here. So I don't know, but I am expecting some upside, and my momentum indicator is telling me as much. So that's as good as I can do for Dodo. Algorand. Here I think it's a 1, 2, 3, 4 situation. With a relatively flat wave 2, flat and shallow wave 2 correction, sharp and deep wave 4, and kind of like what you see throughout the market, you're putting in that leading diagonal because wave 4 retraced a lot more than you would expect in a regular 535 extension. So Algorand, much like Litecoin, much like a lot of other assets we looked at, I would target that phi ratio for that extended wave 5. And in the case of Algorand, that takes you, again, can't make this up, I love the consistency of this, it takes you to the top of this channel. That you've been in for 170 days. It takes you to the top of this channel. So that's what I'm seeing with Algorand. That makes sense to me. Telcoin hasn't done much. Still in, I think it just entered it's actually yeah, it just entered impulsive price action, because I think this was a corrective move right here. So I think this is the beginning of the impulse. But yeah, just like a lot of the other more volatile assets, on the higher time frame, it's quite clear you're at a large resistance that has lasted quite some time. So yeah, you're just expecting to go up. XRP, last but not least. This is my last kind of trade that's doesn't have stops in profit, so I'm looking at it quite carefully. But yeah, this is what I'm focusing on. I just added to the margin this morning, or I just removed from the margin, added to the trade this morning. And so see a complex correction here. Boom, boom, boom. I think this is a 5-3-5-3. Boom. I think this is a leading diagonal. Right here. 5 waves up, 3 waves down, 5 waves up, 3 waves down, right? And you pop out for 5 waves, which I think takes you to the top of this. Let's see. Let's see. Where would it be? I would measure from here. Wave 1 through 3. Actually, no. Let's be consistent. Let's do waves 1 through 3. Retracement of 4. Yep. Again, your phi ratio, if this is a leading diagonal, wave 5 is extended, your phi ratio would take you to the top of the range right here. And that is a great sign. That is a really good sign. And once you kind of do your consolidation reversal and you continue here, that's where you really get fireworks. After you break about 55 cents in XRP. But I definitely see the next move as being up, and that we are in wave 5, the beginnings of an extended wave 5. Okay, that's what I see in XRP. That's pretty much it, guys. Hope that was helpful. Hope that was useful. If you got value, please like, share, and subscribe. I also, for those of you who are looking for a place to give donations, because I don't have, I'm not monetized on YouTube, so I don't have a tip or a tip place or anything like that, but I did leave my wallet address for Bitcoin Cash in the description of this video and all other videos. Bitcoin Cash I chose in particular because it has low gas fees, so it's not something that costs a lot to send money or receive money. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you're having a great Friday. I hope you have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow for a quick hit just on a market update. But take care.